Hello and welcome to whatever this is. So I know it's been a while since I've done a video like this, and it's literally because of what I said in the blog. I am absolutely knackered. I'm cream crackered, and also quite a few things have been going wrong with the boat recently. The last video you saw me at Burton Hastings. What you didn't know was that, well, obviously the boat broke down there. It was a fuse issue, so that's fine. Got that fixed. But I ended up being there for about 2 months. So that was mega stressful. And staying there, the fear of cruising really got on top of me. And I really got in my head, and I felt safe there, and I didn't want to move on. And whenever I tried to start the boat, I would get really panicky. And also, because I didn't know how to fix the fuse myself, it was like one of the things had come out, and whenever I tried to pull it back, the engine would just start and it wouldn't stop. It didn't matter any of the emergency stops, it just wouldn't stop. Anyway, it was just something got put back in the wrong place. But it was nice to just be in a spot I felt safe, very, very quiet, got to regather myself and go to work at the museum, which I love. I also managed, staying there, I managed to finish off my manuscript to send to the editor. Now, the book Hybrid that I'm working on at the moment, I've been writing it for about 5 years, and it is complete. And it needed a go over with an editor. What an editor does is that they look over for like punctuation, grammar, spellings, continuation problems, any of that sort of stuff. So I had like a proofread done, but the thing is, High Blood was a massive book, about a usual book, let's say fantasy genre, should max be about 120,000 words. Max, I'm talking max. But for like a newbie, maybe about like 100,000. 100,000 is a good way to start. This book was 192,000 words. So I had originally finished writing at 168,000 words, and then as I went back to do an editing sweep of my own, I realised that there was some things I wanted to add, some lines that I wanted to develop, some more context with Henry and Evelyn, and it just accidentally went to 192,000 words. Now, this book will either be released as a big book, so basically established fantasy writers are able to kind of decide their own word count. I mean, I have this book here, David and Lee Eddins, the masters of fantasy masters, and this book is over 900 pages long. This was my favourite book when I was about 14, 15, and I would always take it on holiday with me and read it every holiday I could. Probably used to read it like once a year. So I'm actually looking forward to reading it as a woman in her 30s. It's just looking at it, I'm just feeling like the nostalgia, obviously, because you understand things differently as 15-year-old. Anyway, I digress. So there was the thought of releasing it as it was. It was going to be a big book. That was unavoidable. But the other choice is to have it released and do a part 1 and a part 2. So there's going to be 3 books in total of the series, but each volume of the book might be split into 2. There'll be a part 1, part 2. And this is just to make it more digestible for the readers, and I don't want it to look too scary to people that haven't read my books before. I wanted it to seem approachable, you know? So it would kind of end up looking more like, I mean, this size, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? This is just casual reading for when the revolution happens. So there's still lots to do. I still need to find a cover designer. I need to format it for ebook and paperback, obviously. I then need to set up distribution channels. I then need to get ARC readers for it, advanced reader copies, to make sure that it reads well from like reviews and stuff. And just a lot of other stuff. So it might take, realistically, it's probably going to take another 6 months until it's out, but I'm hoping between 3 and 4 months, because it is just me doing this. And if you don't know what High Blood is about, High Blood is a book idea I had when I was back in 2012. Sherlock had just come out on TV, and what I used to do, this thing, I still do it, and it was to combat night terrors. And I didn't know at the time, but apparently it's lucid dreaming. So basically, when I'd lay in bed, I would think of a day. I would daydream, put myself in a scenario that I wanted to be in. It could be like, well, a common one through school when I was bored in science was just imagine me in Lord of the Rings and how the storyline would go if I was there. Oh, who is she? C'est moi. It's me. So with this, I think I was in my early 20s. I would do the same thing with Sherlock and just imagine myself as the housemate instead of John Watson. Like how would I interact with someone like that? How would I go about London if I went on a date? What would I do for work? How would I talk to him if he was rude to me, or would I just act completely unbothered? And this idea, it was just like a comfort dream that I'd go into for the next like 8 years until I knew it inside out. And in 2020, I actually just started writing it, and I didn't have a specific scene in mind. I just like the idea of them meeting for the first time at the gatehouse. So the story is about Henry Solomon Crowe and Evelyn Dynan. And Henry Solomon Crowe is the idea of the sense of what if Sherlock Holmes, instead of a detective for hire, was an assassin for hire, sociopathic, cold, distant, and highly, highly intelligent, but make him inhuman as well. That's why I called him High Blood. So High Blood, the terminology first appears in my Maddox Black books, and it was a term that I created back in 2014 to describe someone that looked like a human, but they were not. So they were smarter, lived longer, faster, stronger, and sometimes had an unusual power about them. So they first get mentioned in Maddox Black. However, the world that I wrote now is that high bloods exist in England and the UK, but they're at the top of the food chain, sort of thing. And humans and high bloods, they're living side by side now, resentfully. And because high bloods are kind of sociopathic, they need, by law, to live with a human companion to remind them of their humanity. And unfortunately, if they don't live with a human and they live alone for too long, they can turn psychotic. They can turn into a psychopath, rogue, feral, and they become dangerous and they end up killing people. So this is where Henry Solomon Crowe comes in. He's the one that deals with all this stuff. He cleans up all the messes. He's highly efficient. He's also a hybrid, so he's half high blood, half human. But unfortunately, regardless of this half-blood state, he is also required by law to have a human live in. So it's not through choice. And this is where we enter Evelyn Dynan, artist, full-time partier, and part-time drunk. So Evelyn, she's trying to make her way in the world. She's trying to become a successful artist in London. She's a country girl. And she's really struggling to survive. And her apartment viewings didn't go very well in London. So she agrees to live with a hybrid. To be a live-in to a hybrid, you get very, very cheap rent. And this is often the reason why a lot of human live-ins decide to take this choice when they're desperate. It's just, unfortunately for Evelyn Dynan, she ends up moving in with one of the most dangerous beings in London. So this is the story. They're housemates, and Henry has been through many human live-ins in the past, and none of them are stuck because he's basically scared them out of the house. He doesn't want to have a housemate. He wants to have his own space. But he's been told by authority he has one last chance. If he screws this up, he's going to be deemed unstable and he will have to live on site in the authority. No freedom, nothing. He will just be a pet, a weapon, and he'll have to live there permanently. So Henry is kind of stuck with Evelyn. But as these riots start happening in London between humans and hybrids, like murder goes up on the rise. Humans start turning up dead, their bodies paraded around and set as nursery rhymes. Hybrids are going missing, tortured, suspected, and lynched in the streets. So it's a lot for Henry to deal with, because now work has never been busier for him, and he's got to catch a murderer, and at the same time his housemate keeps bugging him that it's his turn to get the milk. And it's really infuriating for him, because she's just enjoying herself in London and painting and, lying around the house hungover. Doesn't she realise who she is? Doesn't she realise that he's the most dangerous being in London? Doesn't she realise what he does for a job? But Evelyn, her sort of background, she's suffered 3-day tequila hangovers that would kill a god. So Henry is not a problem to her. She's like, you think you're bad news? Like, try and go to a social club in Birmingham. Okay, I can deal with you. Shh. So it's been really fun over the past 5 years to write this dynamic, and where it's even more excited because Henry, even though he says he doesn't want to live with Evelyn, he does start saving her life a suspicious amount of times. Evelyn accidentally gets herself into trouble, and despite Henry saying he doesn't care and he hates her and everything, anyone that causes her harm seems to go missing. So I'm so excited for this book to come out. As you know, the only thing I've ever wanted to do is write full time. That has been my dream, my goal for so long, and I really, really need to make it work. So I'm still doing my illustration work, of course, and I'm working at the museum, which is the best place in the world. I've been there today, which is probably why I look a little bit sweaty. It's the heat wave, darling. And despite the problems that I'm having on the boat at the moment, the alternator doesn't seem to be working. There's no power coming from it. We took it off to take to the shop, to the repair shop, and be like, alternator's broken. It got tested, and like, your alternator's fine, it's probably your wiring. You check your relay. We checked all the wiring, we checked the relay, and the alternator was still not getting anything from it. So we're going to take it back to the shop. My boat guy is super experienced. He's an engineer. He's been doing it for decades, and if he says it's the alternator, then it's the alternator. So I'm going to take it back to the shop and ask for a second opinion by hopefully the man that runs it, because he seems to have experience as well. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, I've been stuck here the past month, which isn't so bad. There's a walk point down the way. I'm looking forward to turning around at some point on the Ashby and heading back to the Coventry Canal. I've done my miles to get the tick of my licence. I think I would like to have the boat pulled out of the water soon to get a good look at her. We need to start doing some repair work pretty much. So that's what I want to turn around for, to get her somewhere so we can assess some TLC, because she desperately needs it and Maggie deserves it. Apart from that, my life has literally been work, and I do apologise for not releasing a video sooner. I've really been trying to conserve my energy, and where I've had my energy, it's been going towards Leela, my job at the museum, my illustration commissions, writing, and whatever spare I have left, it's for the boat jobs, getting like the food shop, just like all these things, because it is just me doing it all. And you know, sometimes things can seem quite difficult. I'm welcoming each obstacle with humour. Of course, there's plenty of bitterness and bile there. I have had a couple of cries because I'm like, ah! But crying is healthier. It's healthy for you. All in all, I'm just doing my best. And sometimes when I'm unable to do my best, I give myself a really hard time, and that's mostly because I feel so burnt out. I genuinely do feel so burnt out at times. If you're wondering where Leela is, she's gone on holiday with her granddad. It's been far too hot on the boat for her. I am wearing clothes, but not many. I'm very, very sweaty, and it's not a place for her right now like this. Like, my fridge is broken. I don't have power for a fan for her. She's been lying on the ground covered with a wet towel. It's not fair. So she's gone with my dad to the caravan, and there's a lovely, lovely cool breeze there. She's been in the sea every day, and she's having the best time ever. So I'm looking forward for it to get cooler, so my baby can come back. And that's the thing with dogs, you put them first. Of course I miss her, of course I want her here with me, but that's putting my wants and needs before hers. So I'm really lucky to have such amazing parents to help me with Leela and make sure that she has the best experience. So she's with me, she gets great walks along the canal, she's absolutely spoilt with me, she sleeps on the bed, she gets as many treats as she wants, she eats like proper beef mince every day. When I'm at work, if work is longer than a couple of hours, then she goes to stay at my parents, and she stays in the corner, and she'll wait for me there until I finish work and get to pick her up. And of course my parents have a lovely nice big garden, so she gets to stay with them for the weekend, here and there, because it's also socialising her. I just love her so much. I just want her to have the best life. And this is perfect because I do work 2 weekends a month at the museum. It's just, I've been working today. I've had a great day today. I am tired. I'm really dehydrated. I've had like 2 litres of water, and I've still got like a headache. And then apart from that, any spare energy I've had left, I've just been trying to put into my health. I'm trying to eat healthier. I have decided so I'm trying to get all this boat stuff sorted, get it turned around, and focus on work, focus on the book. That I was going to do a sort of teetotal challenge for myself. So no sippy sip of wine, just to keep this straight whilst I'm trying to plan how, why, where, what, when, the boat, and try and get some improvements done. Anyway, like my legs are sweating, like a sweat dripping down me. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here, but I just wanted to let you know that I am a-okay. For me, just while everything's been going on, I will probably do a couple of update videos like this until I have like spare time and juju to do like the proper edited videos. So if like longer format videos like this is okay with you until I can get spare time to start doing YouTube properly again, then that would really help me out. But this is everything that's happened, and I'm feeling good, I'm feeling hopeful, but then again, I'm unsure whether I've just truly dissociated. Is any of that true? I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, have a lovely evening. I'm very excitedly now going to look over these edits for High Blood. And if you want to sign up for the High Blood newsletter, I'm going to pop a little link here, so it means that when it's released, you'll be the first to know. There will be ARC opportunities, there'll be little snippets of chapters there, which of course, if you are on Patreon, of course this is going out to people on Patreon first, then you will have already seen some chapters of High Blood and some audio recordings as well. I've attempted to say bye about 3 times. Oh, look, see, I'm trying to do this healthy thing and eating healthily and not drinking for a while. There are people at the pub right now enjoying a beer, a full pint. It's a full pint of beer. And so I can see the foam on top. Oh, he's going to lift it. His arms just reached for it. Oh, he's got a cigarette. Oh, you don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Okay, well, anyway. I'll see you later. Big love. All the best. I'll see you next time. A huge thank you to my patrons. Without you, none of this would be possible. We're so grateful for you, so thank you so much. And if you would like to join as a patron or even join the High Blood newsletter, please click the link in the description below. All our love, Elizabeth and Leela.